Hilltop Huskies. It's me, Miss Bermes, and I have my puppy with me. Hi, everybody. Bow. Oh, puppy. Puppy, you've got so much energy. Puppy has been driving me crazy. Seriously. I'm trying to get work done, and I've got this little puppy who doesn't stop moving. And you want to know what? I've got a lesson just for you. Puppy, I'm going to have to set you aside for a minute. Puppy, it's going to be okay, buddy. It's okay. All right, I'm going to put Puppy aside, and we're going to talk about the mood meter. Go ahead. You're sitting over there, Puppy. It'll be fine. Okay, there you go. All right, here's our mood meter. I'm sure you remember this from school, but I think it'd be good for your parents to see it. We use the mood meter, at school to help kids and us adults identify how we feel. Because being able to identify how we feel helps us to address our feelings. As a school counselor, before we started doing mood meter, and having worked for years with kids and with families, and having my own kids, I recognize that identifying our own feelings can be tricky sometimes. Sometimes we just don't know how we're feeling and don't know why we're feeling, but what we see are behaviors that don't always make sense. And so when we can get to our actual feelings, it's easier to address behaviors. And it's easier to address the thinking that might be driving negative behaviors and that might be driving sad and negative feelings. So we start by identifying feelings. How the mood meter works is there's two parts. So kids, you're going to be really helpful with this. There's our energy and then pleasantness. So let's start with energy. Think about your body. How much energy does your body have right now? Let's think about me for a minute. Does it look like I'm jumping up and down? Does it look like my energy is so high that I could just fly to the moon right now? Does it look like my energy's so low that I just want to be laying down and doing nothing? Someone who has low energy might not be able to talk that easily. Their energy's so low. So for me, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm probably on the low middle. I'm kind of a relaxed person right now. So right in here, let's think about Puppy for a second. What kind of energy is Puppy having? Puppy's energy is high. His energy is really high, probably closer up to the top high. And now let's think about the pleasantness thing. That's a good feeling to kind of a bad feeling. From a good feeling to a bad feeling. For me, right now, I feel pretty pleasant. I'd say I'm somewhere right about here. I'm going to say that I am, my pen works here. I'm going to say that I feel content. Peaceful. That's where I'm at. If I were to take content and peaceful and put it on a Post-it, then I could take the Post-it and I could put it right on my board. Now, that's where I'm starting. But we all know feelings are complicated and that we know that feelings change. So chances are my feelings will change as the day goes on. But right now, in this moment, that's where I'm at. And Let's check on Puppy here. We know Puppy is hyper, got a lot of energy. But are you in a good mood or in a bad mood? I feel great. Oh, that's good to know, Puppy. So, Puppy, you're in a good mood and you have high energy. Huh. Wonder what a word for that would be. Let's put him down for a minute. Let me think on this. Puppy, we might call him excited. Puppy, excited. And I think I said it. Hyper. Right? Okay. Let me put that on a post-it note. Hyper or excited. There we go. And let me put this up here for Puppy. I'm thinking Puppy's a little more over there. Hyper or excited. It really is important that we know how we feel, especially because it impacts on how we are able to learn, how we are able to get along with others. It impacts if we can identify our own feelings, it might help others to understand us better too, right? Yup. So for me, having a hyper puppy around is tricky because I have a lot of work to do. She sure does. Always working, driving me crazy. I just want to play. And when a little puppy or a kindergartner or first grader or even a second grade kid is in your life and they're running around and being crazy because they're hyper, they might end up in trouble. And the problem with this is that when you're up in this hyper range, even when it's good and exciting, it's real easy to move from that right over to here to irritated and angry. So what we'd like you to do is to recognize that you're feeling hyper and excited and to do what you can to kind of lower your energy a little if needed so that you can still stay in a pleasant mood but maybe be more appropriate for the setting. So if you're in school and you're hyper and it's time to sit and circle and learn, or you're in school and you're hyper and it's time to read a book, or you're in school and you're hyper and it's time to work work on some writing or to build with blocks or to connect with friends, it's really important to know what to do. Same thing if you're at home. You're at home and you're hyper and your parent is trying to get some work done. Or you're at home and you're hyper and your sibling is like, leave me alone. It'd be pretty easy to move from feeling good and hyper to feeling irritated. So what you need to do is recognize your feelings, right? And deal with them. And so one thing you can do if you're super hyper, and if it works for your family, is you can figure out where to put some of that energy. So for Puppy, when Puppy is super hyper and I need to get some things done in the house, what do you do, Puppy, to kind of deal with it being hyper? Well, I ask if I can go outside and play. Yeah, that's right. And sometimes Puppy can, sometimes it can't. You at home could do the same. You could ask your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever you're with, is if you could go outside and get some of your energy out, right? And they might say yes, and they might say no, but that's one thing you could do. The other thing you could do is you could do some exercises. Yeah, I love exercising. Yes. You could start doing jumping jacks or push-ups or planks. Getting some physical exercise can help calm that body down. And when you calm the body down, you can move from this hyper place just maybe down just a little. Another thing you can do is you can breathe. You guys want to try that with me and Puppy? Okay, here we go. Get yourself cozy. And here's how we do it with Puppy. We're going to go in through our nose. We're going to hold. And then we're going to exhale. In through our nose. exhale. Let's try together. One more time. How does that feel, puppy? I feel pretty good. Yeah. So you got to keep that positive feeling that you were having, but you can reduce that feeling of hyperness. So still keep the pleasant feelings, but reduce that energy in your body so that it's easier to be inside. Does that make sense? It sure does. I hope it makes sense to you guys too. So remember, there's a couple lessons here. 1, check in on your feelings. Ask yourself, how much energy do I have? And where am I at being in the pleasantness factor? Am I super pleasant, feeling good, or feeling miserable? It's good to know how you feel. That's important. And to recognize the surroundings. Recognize your surroundings. And if you're in that hyper zone, if you're in that super hyper zone up here like Puppy was, to remember that there's few things you can do to help out. You can get some exercise. And you need to, if you're going to be going outside, you got to have permission, right? Because you want to stay safe. But you could get some exercise, get that body moving. Sometimes it just helps to take a couple laps, go running. You can do some exercises in your house, jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, right? And where you could just sit calmly in a quiet space and breathe. And when you're breathing, just think about the air coming in. Hold it for a minute. Think about the air leaving. Sometimes in my head, I just imagine the waves of air coming in, holding, and the air leaving. And when you do that, that helps to calm your body down, and you can still feel pleasant, but be in a better space for the people around you or for the environment that you're in. It's good practice for school, and it's definitely a good practice for home if you're feeling cooped up with the family. So anyway, I hope you're doing well. I want you to know that I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you when you get back to school. Bye.